Oh man, and I'm watching battle rap media live. Sell wolf tickets, you lying ass niggas. Big K versus Murder Mook. A battle announced for the divide and conquer card for RBE. Salute Zay from Charlotte's on that bitch, close range. You know, I got some of my dogs in close range, so salute to y'all. I'm ready to see shit pop for real, you know what I mean? Big K versus Murder Mook is a battle that's coming, right? So my thoughts on the battle are pretty simple. I saw the face off. I'm gonna talk about the face off, and I'm gonna say this about Murder Mook as just from viewing his face off. I've never really listened. This is the first time I've heard him talk since I watched his other interviews where he did that podcast with that white girl that he tried to let say the N word. He is somebody who I can tell he's used to being smarter than the people he's around, but he's not a smart person. And not to say that he's like just unknowing, but he does not know how to articulate thoughts. This was people trying to say he knows exactly what he's doing. When someone spends so much time picking, they're not really self-evaluating in terms of what's actually coming out their mouth or if they're articulating their point accurately. You feel what I'm saying? And Mook is somebody who you can tell like he's used to being the smartest person in the room. And I feel like while Big K was a little dry in the face off, I found it funny when Mook tried to play into you're not a street dude and you must have not really did shit when um Big K actively that's actually one of the things that made us fuck with him because his background checked out. Like he fought real cases. I actually always wondered what is it when like white dudes say they street, we just instantly don't believe it as black people, as if we believe we have the monopoly on being street. But in the same sense, don't like to be criminalized. I don't get that. Why can't Big K be street? Street is a motherfucker. That's not indicative of niggas. He still work. And last time I checked, Mookie went to college. So when you say you did both, and you say that, it sounds good, bro. But you don't have a pistol charge. The only thing we really know you involving pistols was one going across your fucking head. So when people, hear you tell someone how they're not street, and you're talking to someone that went down having actual charges for it, then you're telling them you must have ratted or this, that, and third. But you don't have those type of charges. You're not even known for that type of activity. Why is that an argument that you can have? Because he's a white boy, you don't believe him, or he talks that shit well. I mean, but you were co-signing Tay-Rock. And you were behind him in battles. Then when it was time to battle him, you were saying how you think he's trash. But then you were saying that you keep it real all the time. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot of contradictions that Mook likes to do. And I could tell when niggas just like talk, they like to hear themselves talk and sound profound. It was really frustrating to listen to. I got Big K 30 in Mook. I'm sorry. I don't know where this Mook in small rooms is unbeatable. What small room is he won in? He lost to Reed Dollars. Niggas can bring up. This is the thing when he battled Verb. Because a lot of people say that he won the battle and try to go back and say he won the battle. This is the thing with the Verb battle. The problem is not that Mook didn't have good bars. I'll never be the first to say that. I'll be the first to say that Mook had a lot of bad bars. And while Verb wasn't the most lyrical, in battle rap, it's not about just being lyrical and about having just the better penmanship and writing. It's about who's the most effective battler. Verb was just more effective. He was saying the shit we as fans wanted to hear in a battle like this. You were going on a long dictionary run in the third round, which was long as fucking touching on the angles that have already been touched on Verb, that then try to use the excuse of what no one's gonna do that angle like Murder Mook. I mean, I don't want to hear you do old shit. I want to hear you approach this battle in a new way. You know, I have Big K beating him. I feel like Big K versus A Ward that was at someone at the time who was known for catching wreck with top tier talent. Other than Rum Nitty, most of the people he met outside of URL, he was beating. So Big K definitively beating him. Which A Ward was still good in the battle. A lot of people, don't like to mention that he was dumping. Big K beat the shit out of him. And this isn't the first time he's done this. Big K 30 Jaded Nightwing. He 30'd Calico. I know Calico. Oh, it was a good battle. Calico, you did your thing, but you lost, bro. That was the general consensus of the battle. I think because people say that they do street shit, that's automatically like just extra 3 points that adds to your material. But the material itself, and I think people get that confused. We concern ourselves with who did what or what did who versus the actual material, like what niggas are actually coming with. And we're going off the material that we've heard from these niggas in recent years. I promise you, you niggas will quote more Big K bars than Murda Mook bars. You're not quoting shit he said from the Verb battle. There ain't a nigga you talk to these days that still quote that shit he said versus fucking Verb. What niggas quote one bar he said for $3 in a battle he got 30 then. Who quotes what he said versus Tay Rock? Like, Murda Mook is a great rapper, but that's not the same as being a great battler. You can be a great rapper. Murda Mook can rap. He can flow, cadence, he can layer material. We're not saying he can't do that. What we're saying is for the battle rap format, I just do not understand how we're having the consensus that he's going to somehow win against somebody who has had better moments in this culture. Like, I get if niggas had a reverence for Lux in the small room. Lux gave us, like, definitive shit. His battle with Hollow, the round he had versus Calico. But if we were looking at him critically, nigga, you arguably would have lost to Calico for just being completely unbiased. 2-1. Besides the Calico battle being shaky, you got 30 by Mook. You battled Arsenal, and you battled Surf. I mean, you won, but, like, a lot of niggas argue Surf had the better material. So y'all not just invincible in small rooms either. So, and you battle Tay Rock, there was nobody in that bitch. So you're not even tested for crowds. So for all we know, you're gonna go in this blue room thinking you got shit on lock and on squeeze just because you're Murda Mook. But no one give a fuck that you're Murda Mook, bro. What we care about is can Murda Mook come with some 3 rounds of potency in this big room and really deliver. That's all we want from you. We just want you to be great. That's it. I have more confidence in Big K beating your ass. Sorry, I've watched him have better performances than you in recent years, and that's what we going off. He brought it the Geechee battle. I think I've seen some people say that Big K's energy was weird, but on one hand, maybe he is being extra careful not to get Murda Mook anything. Murder any and everything into a nigga say declare win, but a win's not clear. Like, bro, like if you just want to argue, that's fine, but some niggas don't want to do that. But on the other hand, maybe Big K is nervous. This is Murda Mook, you know what I mean? And Murda Mook might try some weird ass shit and try to bring some people, which he said, Big K's he said this in an interview where he was going to Virginia and all that. So probably why he don't got much to say to you, because he already know you gonna try to do some bird ass shit and that. Like this is like what he did with Tay Rock, where you swore you had evidence of this phone conversation between these two people, and then when niggas is asking about if it exists or not, Dan bars on interviews like, I ain't gonna say I ain't hear it, but I ain't gonna say I heard it. I'm like playing weird riddle games, and like who has time for that? And we've still never seen this motherfucking audio. We never heard it. Like nigga just be like, so forgive me if when someone gets to talking about who they gonna bring, like you lied. You did some chatty patty shit once niggas really investigated Murda Mook. I'm just gonna keep it funky. You know what I mean? I'm just keep it funky. And I'm not the biggest Big K fan. I'm not saying that like I'm just taking up for Big K, because I feel Big K, you was kind of coming just doing the bare minimum in certain battles. But I'm gonna say specifically for this battle coming up with this battle coming up with Murda Mook. My fault. I checked my food and shit. But I can say definitively with this battle coming with Mook, I do got Big K beating you in the room. I don't know what type of shit niggas smoking. Niggas smoking dust. I don't know personally. I don't know if Murda Mook be paying niggas. It's like, yo, I understand he's one of the ghosts, bro, but He even made a point to say, like, bro, I was rapping like that in 2005. I hate these niggas who think, like, overextended wordplay and double entendres and triple entendres instantly equal, like, you had an effective moment. Battle rap these days is about consistency and time management, my nigga. Within 30 seconds, you done did about 5 to 7 layered schemes that we're excited to see you get to the end of. But outside of that verb battle, he hasn't even rapped that good since the verb battle. That was one of his better showings. I give him that. But you had a lot of reaches in between that bullshit, and you'd have been overly aggressive. But you haven't even had better material since that. Like outside of the rock battle, I'll be, you know what I'm saying. Let me not forget about that. After that, bro, that shit against Reed was ass. That shit for Geechee worked in New York, bro. They were happy to see you, and Geechee definitely just sent fucking Loaded Lux to the gulag. So, like, we're not gonna act like we didn't know what it was. Like, this is literally get back. Now Mook can say that I beat Geechee clearly when no one else did. Meanwhile, Geechee was all over the fucking United States shaking shit. But when he battled they Star, they Golden Boy, and they Golden City, they couldn't let him lose. And niggas knew what that was gonna be, bro. Like we were like you was up there saying Big E and East and West Coast shit, which is effective strategy. But of course he was gonna do that because look at what happened to Loaded Lux, and they was gonna eat it up. Because look at what happened to Loaded Lux. He just got sent to the afterworld, bro. Y'all just caught that nigga body falling from orbit, bro. So I do understand that, but we got to be real with ourselves. We got to be real with the people that we call our battle rap vets, bro. Like you didn't beat a motherfucking. You didn't. You're not beating Big K, bro. You're gonna have to rap. I think you rap really well, but I think you confuse complexity and the way you layer your material is the same thing as like being effective. Like just because all he does is the same thing, which he's referencing punching because Murda Mook doesn't really punch. Back in the day, he says I used to do 4 bar setups. True, but we're gonna be real and talk about the standard of punches back then. They were not compared to some of the punches we've seen in the modern day, bro. Not on the level of complexity, and most importantly, not the standard that we as fans hold them to. So y'all not gonna act like y'all going back to them old Lux versus Party Artie rounds and saying he could beat some niggas out here rapping in the modern day. He get his stupid ass smoke, and we could be honest about that for real. And I like some older battlers. There's some older battlers who I think would be cold in any era. He was not one of them. There's a reason why he's struggling here to find and maintain. A reason he wasn't taking that many battles. He came back versus Iron Silent, it was terrible. He came back versus Loaded Lux, it was terrible. It took you a hot minute to have a good performance since you've been back. So let's stop this fantasy that somehow, some way, he's just gonna magically dominate somebody who's been consistent for years. Some periods where he was fucking up and bullshitting. But the same people, the ill wills, the the hollows, like Big K was in talks battles from great people, bro. I don't know why we get that. We try to downplay that like him and Hollow weren't post the battle. Matter of fact, who did Big K battle when Disaster battle Hollow? I don't know. I just feel like at the end of the day, when it come to certain people, bro, I just y'all can have it, bro. Y'all gonna ride for these niggas, y'all go ahead. But I got Big K winning. Me. Mook gonna have to surprise me. He gonna have to complete a sentence, a coherent thought, coherently. And I'm pretty intelligent person myself. You know what I mean? It's like I get what you're saying, but you're overcomplicating it and you're making me try too hard to understand and grasp simple concepts. You do a lot of Jordan Peterson shit. It's actually a way to be very vague and broad to speak on something specifically, but in order for you to allude to something more specifically, you go all around the fucking ballpark of the conversation just to try to get to the focal point of what you're trying to say versus just bluntly saying what you're trying to say. Like it's as simple as saying, bro, I think you're fake because of 1 minute you're saying that you're keeping it real, but then in the other instance, you're saying that you're being dead ass, but then why did you have to say keep it real? See how easy that was to complete in a clear sentence versus just making like random outbursts and then like you know what I mean, trying to string together thoughts because you can't articulate them with words. Because that's the thing with communication. Like you can imply everything you want to, and we can understand it for you, and that's cool. But that lets a lot of y'all get away with the fact that y'all just don't know how to properly communicate. When you're able to complete sentences, bro, I'm gonna believe you can beat Big K. You lost to Reed Dollars, and Reed Dollars wasn't that good. So Reed Dollars came back and beat T Rex and Murda Mook. How we get this motherfucking Nerd Rap podcast?